Now, if you guys think that belts are an addiction, you should try FanFest because I've gone to the same FanFest for 3 years now. This is my haul, right? This is what I got accomplished, got done at the SICW FanFest in St. Louis, which was yesterday, May 17th. And it was at they used to be at the Aviator Hotel over in St. Louis, but they switched venues. They're over, at least this year, they were at the Airport Hilton, which I'm sure made it easier to everybody to get, from the airport to their hotel when it's right across the street. But I ended up taking 6 belts with me, as you can see, and there's also a magazine hanging out back there. I'll get to that in a second. But I'm filming this the next morning because this belt needs to go back to its owner. And so I've got a couple chairs here to sort of facilitate as I pull belts off the table after I get done showing them. But this is the Shop Oval Intercontinental that my buddy has. He lent it to me to go get it signed at the FanFest. So this is shop plates, my stones. Leather is Mendoza Craft. And I want to say it's on the inside here. Yep. Mendoza Craft. And it has now been autographed by Rikishi. So he was there, and he's the only one that was there that held the oval. Now, the lineup was like Jacqueline and Devon Dudley, and there was Gangrel, and there was a lot more old school guys than that. But I'm talking about specifically Attitude Era. He's the only one of that bunch that held the oval. So he's the only signature I got on that. But this belt, when I get done filming, I'm going to reach out to its owner about taking it back, about, returning it. So that was that as far as just a shop belt, got there for one autograph. So the next belt, these are belts that the reviews have already been posted, been uploaded by the time you see this video. So this video is coming out not this week, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. So I guess 3 weeks from now. But I'm just getting to it as I can. But this is a recent addition to the collection. If you're on the page, Classic Championship Belts, you've already seen this. If you're on my Instagram, you've already seen this. This is a Jagu John made plates. As far as the plates are concerned, those are his plates, 5.5 millimeter CNC. The leather, once again, is done by Mendoza Craft. And I just got this in last Thursday. Yeah. And so I'll do a more detailed review in it here shortly. But what's really cool about it is the signature. Hard to make out. He's in his 80s. It's hard for him to, sign autographs and stuff, I'm sure. But Dory Funk Jr. is bucket list. There are only 3 surviving NWA World Heavyweight Champions from that era. You know what I mean? There's the Dan Severns, and there's the who else has been NWA champion? Jeff Jarrett and Sting and people like that. But that's like what the TNA era. I'm talking about territory era. To get a living NWA World Champion signature on a belt, even though it's not the crown jewel belt that he held, he also held the Missouri Heavyweight. That's why I had him sign it. Is bucket list. So I've got an autograph, 2 autographs. Both my Dome Globes are signed by Tommy Rich. I've got this one signed by Dory Funk Jr. Like I said, more in-depth review on this one. Actually being posted on the 18th, which is today as I'm filming. So once I get done returning the Shop Oval to its owner, this review is actually getting done later today. So I ain't going to spoil the review just yet. I'm just going to move this off camera here. Next one. This is one that everyone at the FanFest seemed to love. Everyone that saw it. This is another recent addition. The review will be posted next week. This is NWA, what they call the Luger United States. It is plates done by Pinfall, title belts, and the leather, another Mendoza belt, Mendoza Craft. And this one got autographed by Nikita Koloff. He was very, very cool to meet. Asked me where I was from, I got to him the first 2 stops I made, I had these 2 belts. And I went to Nikita first. I can't remember if Dory was even set up yet, but I got done with Nikita and went to Dory because I figured Dory may not be signing long, and I was right. Dory signed for about 30, 45 minutes, and then he was absent. I don't know what happened. I'm going to set this belt down, though. I'll be right back. Okay, I just needed some room. I needed to set the Luger belt down, but that review is coming next week on that one. This one you guys have seen before. This is my red NWA TV belt. Plates, just like that one over there, are from Jagu, 5.5 millimeter CNC. Strap, once again, although he did not put a tramp stamp on it, this is Mendoza's leather as well. I have a full review video on the channel from about almost 2 years ago now. I moved in this house in 23, and it happened, I want to say July 1st is when I got it. Because I remember I came home from watching Money in the Bank, which was live over in London. And came home, and this box was on my doorstep. So whatever that date was, I think it was July 1st, 23, is when this belt came in. But I brought it with me because also appearing at this FanFest was Baby Doll. Now, she never held it, right? But she was the valet for not only Tully Blanchard, but also Dusty Rhodes when they held the red strap NWA TV. And so I brought it with me just for that reason. Like I said, this is another Mendoza craft belt. I guess that makes 4 of them in this video. This is like fucking Mendoza Palooza. I don't know. But, yeah, he's done quite a bit of leather for me and my friends. So, can't say enough about the belt. Obviously, if you want to see it more in depth, how we collaborated on tooling and staining, or not staining, but dyeing it, and what's the plate order and stuff. That's all on the review. I'm gonna go set this belt off to the side and deal with the others when I come back. All right. So instead of going to the 2 belts, we're gonna get to this first. This is something I bought off of eBay last year when Greg Valentine was supposed to be there, and he ended up not making it. But he has the States belt on, and I had the replica. So I'm like, I saw this on eBay. Greg Valentine, Hall of Fame 2004. And it was so cool because I pulled it out of the package for the first time. And he actually took a look at it. Like, he's looking at it like, what cover of what magazine am I on? But shows you that, they may be wrestlers and they may be celebrities, but they don't really care about what magazine cover they get on. Right? Like, he probably, I doubt he has a copy of that, because that's like an old school thing. It's just to, how do I want to say it? It's just kind of an old school thing to just do your job and go home and not have a whole bunch of memorabilia about yourself. There's some people that are like that, but I take it Greg is not one of them. So, next belt, which I have propped up with a bottle of bourbon. Let me move the bourbon. Buffalo Trace. Because it was falling over before I did that. But this is the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight. Also, just like this belt over here and the red NWA TV that I showed, plates are also made by Jagu. The strap is also made by Jagu. This is his SD. There's a full review on this belt on the channel already from last year. It's before this point last year, because I bought this belt for the FanFest last year, but they had some travel issues and some people didn't make it, and Greg was one of them. But what was really cool is I got Greg. I asked him to do this, and he said yes. He wrote on the inside, obviously, his signature, and then Hall of Fame 2004, and then I got him to write, "I broke Wahoo's leg," which, if you haven't seen the footage from back when he won that, he won it, I want to say with like a figure 4 or something, but I remember he had a shirt in Mid-Atlantic that is very famous. It says, "I broke Wahoo's leg." So that is that's that belt. That was worth going just to get that, honestly, because I thought maybe he will ride it, maybe he won't, and he did. He was cool. So there's the piece de resistance, right? The most popular belt that I have when I go to FanFest, at least the St. Louis one, SICW FanFest. This one is Mateen. It's Mateen's leather. It's Mateen's plates. This is a cast-made NWA tag team belt. And I got it signed last year by, let's see, Bob Orton, Sergeant Slaughter, Manny Fernandez, Jerry Briscoe, Dennis Condrey, and I think that's it other than Robert Gibson. But the Rock and Roll Express were advertised to be there, and NWA was running a show, and Ricky Morton's son, Kerry, wrestles for the NWA, so Ricky went to the show in Texas rather than coming to the FanFest in St. Louis. Well, this year, they were both there, Ricky and Robert. And I was able to get Ricky. So you can see Robert's signature. They gave him a bad pen last year. But Ricky wrote, Rock and Roll Express, 9-time World Tag Team Champions, Hall of Fame. Oh, I'm sorry, 2000. He wasn't Hall of Fame in 2006, but he did write Hall of Fame. He got the year wrong. All right, whatever. But he did sign Ricky Morton, unless it was NWA Hall of Fame. Maybe that was it, because he didn't go in the WWE Hall of Fame until like 2017-ish when Cornette inducted him. I'll have to look that up, because I don't know why he would get the year he went in the Hall of Fame wrong, right? But yeah, 9-time World Tag Team Champion. So I got Ricky and Robert. I got the Rock and Roll Express. I got Cowboy Bob Orton, Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, Gerald Briscoe, who smeared his own autograph, Loverboy Dennis Condrey, and like I said, Sergeant Slaughter. So this is one of the belts I love having. It's well made, and it's just great to be able to meet these guys. So my message to you: if there are any fan fests you're thinking about going to, always go. They're always worth it. Bring cash. You know, don't be the guy that tries to pay with a card, because sometimes they don't accept it. That'd be my little advice. We have a fan fest sort of coming up here in Kansas City in about 5 weeks, and I will be at that. So upcoming is what they call Anime-verse, and they also have signed a bunch of wrestlers. So they have signed, let's see, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, Booker T, Lex Luger, Sting, Jerry Lawler, Saraya. I know they have Sammy Guevara and his wife, Ty Conti. And then they have, I want to say Orange Cassidy, but I could be wrong about that. But they have some old school and some new school mixed in. But I will return. Well, actually, I'll probably try to do another Belt Chronicles episode, because the 2 reviews need to be shot and uploaded. The review on the Missouri Heavyweight and the review on the Luger US. That's also a recent addition. And those 2 reviews need to be shot and uploaded. This one is going to be uploaded 2 weeks from now. So not next Sunday, but the week after that. So, anyway, like I said, always go to FanFest. They're always worth going to. It's cool to meet these guys and ask them questions about an angle they did or a match they had or whatever. I did get to meet Mick Foley here not too long ago. If you saw me post that on my Instagram, I didn't post it on Facebook or on YouTube, but he was cool enough to sign my Stacked Big Eagle made by Rocha Belts and my Mankind mask that I did an unboxing and a brief review of here not too long ago. So I'm going to wrap all this up by saying always go to FanFest. Look out for another Belt Chronicles episode coming at you, and I'll see you guys on the next video.